Hey, welcome, and today we are at this farm from Aqua Foundry, which is very exciting because this is how the future of farming could look like, right? So we are going to talk about aquaponics, and we are going to talk about how you can help use fish to grow your food and how you can reduce your human effort by a lot of automation and a lot of technology. So very exciting, stay tuned.
This one we are starting for the urbanites who really want to eat healthy and stay healthy, which they are not getting, because if you look at farm to table, right, through the different hops it reaches, they don't get fresh food.
It's like how we do fault tolerance in distributed computing.
It's
So
same.
you have used a lot of your
technology.
learning from being an engineer. On a hot summer day, I should just stand there.
It's a kind of it's rain. We are planning for completely making it autonomous. So for that, first is sense, analyze, then predict, and then act.
Right, and you have spoiled Earth so much that we have to go to Mars.
Yeah.
We can go to Mars, put the shipping container there, and grow our own food. So we have here with us Sujit, right, and we are at this farm in Bangalore. This is in the middle of Bangalore actually, right? So Sujit, I think first question before we understand more about this farm, but I mean, a lot of people get confused about hydroponics and aquaponics. They think it's the same thing. Can you tell us a little bit about what is aquaponics and what is hydroponics?
Yeah, so there are different forms of farming. So aquaponics is a form of hydroponics only. So now let's understand what is hydroponics. So if you compare with regular farming, in which you use soil as media in order to get the nutrients for the plants. Basically the plants suck nutrients from soil, right? So it's the media which supplies all the nutrients. In hydroponics, it is water, which is the media in which the root is suspended, where it draws all the nutrients. So in hydroponics now, regular water, basic water, right, it doesn't have all the nutrients. You have to first understand in terms of the crops, right, what kind of nutrients it requires. You have two kinds, basically primary and secondary. In the primary, you have the NPK and sulfur and calcium, but in secondary you have got lot of other nutrients like molybdenum, boron, magnesium, even iron and all. So some parts you can get in traces in water, but again with hydroponics what they do is like they create nutrients. Yeah, so the nutrients, if you look at, right, for hydroponics you have to supply the nutrients through water. Now from where you get the nutrients? It can be either synthetic or organic way you can procure, you can create those. There are a lot of ways, just like in soil, they use Jivamrit and all, right. Same way you can create for creating a healthy environment for the bacteria to thrive in water. So just like NPK, same way you have got different bacteria in water. There are a lot of bacteria healthy and unhealthy. But the thing is, primarily you have the nitrosomonas nitrobacter, and then the PSB and the KSB. So phosphorus solubilizing bacteria and the potassium solubilizing bacteria. Somehow you create that environment, right, which is actually suitable and conducive for the bacteria to thrive. Once it is there, all the organic matter which is there, right, it's going to break those into these nutrients which the plants can consume.
Right. So and aquaponics, what about aquaponics?
Yeah, so in aquaponics it is little different, almost same I can say. Now how do you supply the nutrients? What we do, we use, aquaponics is actually a mix of aquaculture and hydroponics. That's how it is, aquaponics. Aquaponics, actually we use fish, which is a part of aquaculture. We practice both aquaculture as well as hydroponics. Right. And instead of using synthetic nutrients or any other organic way, that I'm going to talk about it. We are doing some experiments on that. But primarily it is about fish. So fish and plants, they stay in a symbiotic system.
Right.
Fish, plants and bacteria.
Right.
So there is an environment which you have to maintain. So basically primarily the pH, the electrical conductivity, and the TDS, all those elements you have to maintain, right, so that all these three, they stay together.
Right. See, in organic farming, we basically say that our job as an organic farmer is to mimic nature. Right. So what I really like about aquaponics is the fact that you are actually mimicking nature. It's a natural cycle,
yes,
right?
It's a natural
and in
cycle.
fact, even like historically, there are several places where traditional farming has happened, with aquaculture and farming together.
In 17th or 18th century, if you look at Aztecs, right, in Mexico and all, they have already done that.
Right.
And even Egypt and all also people have tried. And if you look at Japan and all, even in India itself, if you look at in villages, right, so wherever their houses are there, they have got these ponds and the crops around that, they clean their utensils and all the waste food is there in ponds. Fish eats it and fish secretes all the waste and that gets supplied to the plants. That it's already there.
Right,
Only
right.
thing is we are creating an artificial environment. Our major target is to do it in a smaller footprint
Right.
and let the nature heal. That's the target. So you don't need too much of space.
Right.
That's why if you look at, right, these are all vertical. And this is like just what 6.5 feet. We have vertical towers which are like 35 feet. So per square feet we can go till 500 to 1000 plants.
Right.
You don't need too much of land. It's about how you supply the nutrients. There are different techniques in aquaponics and hydroponics.
So we'll get into the science of aquaponics in a bit, but before that, let's take a quick step back and let's talk a little bit about your journey. I mean,
Yeah.
you are a techie, right?
Yeah, right.
So how did this whole thing into farming come about?
Yeah, so this all happened back in US. So I used to work in R&D orgs as well. So I was primarily building drones that time. So I was connected with a couple of farmers in upstate New York. They had some problems in which we used to use the drones there. And shall I ask them to stop?
No, it's okay.
Okay. So we used to use drones for basically drawing away all the deer and all. So that's when I saw they were practicing actually hydroponics and aquaponics. They had a lab. That's when I came to know about it. Then that is, I think, in 2013-14. So that excited me, and being from a middle class family and my forefathers, they used to do farming as well. I was already a hobbyist. I used to grow crops and all in backyard or even in my basement. So I started my first lab in US in my basement and studied, collected the data, saw the growth patterns and all.
And that was
Then-
hydroponics that you were trying?
No, aquaponics. I
Aquaponics.
started with aquaponics only. Then I gained some confidence that back when I came back to India, started my startup, that's when this thing started. We started in our balcony, 100 square feet, we are growing almost 1000 plants. There was no failure at all. Then we went to Bhubaneswar, Orissa we started. We faced a lot of challenges, and that was during COVID period. So you had to throw out all our produces, and plus the climate
Because
was
you could not sell
conducive.
it basically
We
at
could
that
not
point of
sell
time.
it. And plus the climate was also harsh because of all the cyclones and all. Then we thought we are already from Bangalore, why not to start here, because there is a niche market and people understand. We have a conscious customer base out
Right.
here. So that's when we started. The first farm was the container one. We did our commercial pilot there, and for almost 1 year, 1 to 1.5 years, we have been delivering salads to almost 8 to 9 large apartments, and we got very good feedback. We give them salads plus green produces freshly picked from farm. Directly they get fresh, same day harvested, same day supplied to them.
Right.
And that's when we understood that we need to grow larger because the demand started increasing. We did not do any marketing. We just stayed with our market base, then we started planning. So this one is a managed farm. So this one actually, it's not that we are building and managing it, but our partners are our customers. Most of the customers who have invested in this farm are the people who used to consume salads. And we have got other investors who are interested in this. So after commercial pilot, this is commercial. This is in 10,000 square feet, and the capacity of this one is around 35 to 40 tons of green leafy production per year, and around 20 to 30 tons of fish production capacity this farm has.
Got it.
So
20
we-
to 30 tons of fish per year
Per year.
as
Yeah,
well. And
yeah.
35 to 40 tons
Per year.
per year
Yes.
from 10,000 square feet.
10,000 square feet. And that
Sort
too
of
not
space.
fully acquired also. You can see still it is empty. We have
Right.
some plans of putting vertical
Right.
towers here.
Right. Here also, if you go more vertically as well,
Yeah, we can
you
go.
can
It
get
is still-
20-30% more yield.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
our
right?
plan is actually we are going to put nets which we did in Orissa, because whatever we have learnt, it's everything not from anybody else. We did not have time to go out to other farms to check also. We started experimenting everything ourselves.
Got
So
it.
we are going to have nets here for cucumber and all.
Got
So
it.
which can hang, plus that's going to control the temperature. Because
Understood.
greenhouse, right, you know, right, if it is from outside, there'll be at least 3 to 4 degrees increase of temperature inside. So that is the most challenging part. If you look at, right, we have all these sprinklers and the fans, intercirculatory fans.
Right.
In summer, that's how we control the temperature.
And we'll walk through this to see all the different mechanisms.
Sure.
But let's take a step back, and if you can kind of explain to us the science behind this, you know, in a simple way.
Yeah, sure. So quickly, I'll tell you how all the different systems are and how it is. It's a recirculatory system in which where you have the fish tank, then this is the grow bed, where you have different media like the hydrotrons or even the DWC, and the water gets supplied to the grow bed through the sediment tank and the biofilter. So the sediment tank actually takes out all the waste, the physical waste which the fish has secreted, and so basically from the fish, right, through the gills and their waste, ammonia comes out, and the bacteria basically converts the nitrosomonas bacteria, that converts ammonia into nitrite, and the nitrobacter converts your nitrite into nitrate, and the nitrate is which actually the plants consume, and the water is sent back. So basically
But this will only give you nitrogen. What about phosphorus and
yeah,
potassium?
so for that what we do, so it is there in traces, but we have different bacteria chambers. So in a natural way we are using PSP and KSP. So these are phosphorus and potassium solubilizing bacteria, and to which we supply all biomass nutrients, which breaks it down and provides that back to the system. So this is where we connect it.
Got it. So basically whole NPK kind of comes in.
Yes.
Now can you tell us a little bit about these advantages that are there for aquaponics as compared to conventional farming?
Yeah, so if you look at, right, so we don't need soil. So most of the pests and diseases are there, it's because of soil. Almost 80 to 90% is gone because of that, that is discarded.
Okay.
Then water, because it's a recirculatory system, we don't dump the water, and the water is still there in the system. As much evaporation it happens, and plus the plants, right, whatever they consume, apart from that, the water still stays. We just do top up. So almost 80 to 90% water we save compared to traditional farming. And then the
and
growth,
which is very good now that in Bangalore we have like a
Bangalore, if you look
drought.
at-
There's no water in Bangalore.
Right.
So it seems like a very apt time to do something
absolutely. And growth wise, if you look at, yeah, so the science says 5 times growth compared to soil, because the nutrients are directly supplied to roots. If you look at soil based, right, in which the plants take a lot of time, the crop, for growth, because if the nutrients are not supplied, the roots are going to start propagating. So in aquaponics, what I say is like, here the root propagation is not much, it's the shoot propagation is more.
Got it.
So because the nutrients are already there. So but what we have observed, at least 2 to 3 times much faster compared to soil.
So the plant can use a lot of its energy in doing vegetative growth
yes,
rather than
compared
growing
to
the root. necessarily.
yeah, right. Searching for nutrients. And because it's an aquaponic system, we call it truly organic. The reason is we can't use anything artificial or synthetic here, because the best proof for that is the fish will die.
Right.
So we don't use chemical pesticides and whatever artificial like rock phosphate and all, those are all natural ways only through which we do.
Right. And this is why actually, for example, at Farmizon, we sell only aquaponics produce. We do not sell hydroponics produce, because we feel that aquaponics mimics nature in a much closer way, number one. Number two is, in hydroponics, people can use chemical nutrients,
Yes.
right? Not how fish waste is being used, which is a natural product, right? Natural byproduct which is being used. So I think, so that's the reason why we prefer to list and sell and partner with aquaponics farmers, right? Because for us, aquaponics is organic, whereas hydroponics, in our opinion, is not really organic. Yeah. So, and you also mentioned that less land use.
Yeah,
right?
so the thing is, what we believe, we have pretty much vandalized the entire ecosystem by acquiring a lot of land. If you look at 80% of, I think 70 to 80% of fresh water is consumed by traditional farming, and plus land. You need a lot of land in traditional farming. Here we don't need. See, we consume 1 square foot, right? We believe you have only that much, 1 more square feet to produce whatever you want to eat.
Right.
So that was our belief system.
Like if you see the numbers here, 10,000 square feet giving you about 35 to 40 tons per year,
Yes.
right? Now
So
that
we
means
have around-
per acre you are basically getting almost like 160, 170 tons
Yes, yes,
per acre is
yes,
your output,
yes.
and which can even be further increased.
Yes,
Right? Maybe
yes,
it can go to
absolutely.
like 200 tons per
Yes,
acre.
absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
Whereas if you are comparing open field farming, even the best organic farms with a lot of adding a lot of compost, lot of good nutrition management, scientific nutrition management, even they will struggle to get to like 30 tons per
Yes,
acre.
yes,
Right? So you are
absolutely.
talking immediately about 5 to 6 times yield
Yes, yes.
easily,
Easily,
based on
yes,
the
yes.
land size itself. So
Absolutely, yeah.
interesting. And given the fact that the world population is increasing so much,
Yeah, you
right?
yeah, right.
There are more and more mouths to feed,
Correct.
and we have limited land. Nobody is making more land.
Yeah,
I mean, the
correct.
only choice we have is, do you go and clear up forests and make more land, which does not solve the problem, right?
Solve the
Because we need more forests. In
Yeah,
fact, we need to
absolutely.
reduce our agricultural land that we have right now. Put trees, make forests. So if you reduce agricultural land, how do you feed the population? For that, we need to adopt these sort of techniques where you are able to grow more food on less land.
Right, absolutely.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about, maybe let's, do you want to walk through the farm once and you can show us different things, and then we'll come back and we'll look at
Sure.
how production actually happens here. So before all of that, like how much does this, if somebody has to set up a farm like this, how much would it cost them?
So this farm, the cost itself will be around 50 to 55 lakhs
Got it.
for this farm. So per square feet, this is like in a 10,000 square feet. So you can divide, I think, how much it is coming, around 5,000 per square feet, like that.
Got it.
And if you look at the break even, that is the question I think a lot of people asked us. You will get the break even. So first is growing it properly and then selling it at right time, because you will have lost of. Yeah.
Can you start from how much it does take?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So, so this 10,000 square feet farm, which is basically producing 35 to 40.
Tons.
Sorry. Wait, we'll start again.
35 to 40 tons
Right.
of green
Yeah,
leafy.
Yeah. So this 10,000 square feet farm, which is producing 35 to 40 tons of green leafies and other vegetables per year, how much money does it take for somebody to build a farm like this?
Okay, so in this 10,000 square feet, we have spent around 50 to 55 lakhs.
Okay.
So it will come around 55 lakhs only. And the question which I'm asked by a lot of people is like, when do you get the break even? When do you make profit and all? So there are a lot of components and factors to that. So people, I have spoken with people throughout the globe. Those, we have our own cult kind of, where people practice aquaponics and all.
Right.
You will see a lot of propaganda in net that you cannot make money in aquaponics and all. I say you cannot make money in hydroponics because you keep buying the artificial nutrients and all unless you go organic way. But in aquaponics, if you see, you sell pretty much everything. So the ideally the break even, you should be able to hit it within 1.5 to 2 years.
Right. I think it's not, because it's not just the vegetables. You can also sell the
We
fish.
sell, yes,
right?
not only the fish. So the fish poop, that we also drying it and people are taking it for their kitchen garden and all. That is the best fertilizer, because with gobra and all, cow dung and all, right, you don't get all the nutrients. And here, most of the things, actually lot of primary nutrients we are controlling through the fish food.
Right.
The protein which is being given to the fish, right, when the waste comes out. So that waste also we are doing. So you are selling pretty much everything in this. Fish, plants, and even the
byproduct
water,
of the-
byproduct and the water which is there. So there were few people who came, they told that, are you guys doing this PSB, KSB culture and all? So we did not have a lab. I told that there were a couple of other bacteria they were asking. Then we thought we can sell this water also.
Okay.
Because it is full of water. That happened recently. So pretty much, so what are you investing? Electricity and labor. Rest all, whatever you have invested, everything is going to give you returns back.
Right. And I think especially if you look at organic farming, one of the biggest problems is that 70% of the cost structure or even more is just labor, right?
yes.
And in this sort of a farm, hopefully you are more labor efficient than a open field.
Yeah, so that's
organic
our
farm.
target. If you look at the traditional farming, right, why they are quitting? Labor is the biggest challenge. And being techie, my background is in artificial intelligence, AI and robotics. So what we are doing, we are trying to reduce the labor dependency and reduce the error. So very soon you will be seeing the robotic arms here, where we have the cameras and which is going to take pictures, upload it to cloud, where we are going to do the detection of diseases, pests and all. Some part is going to be happening on the edge itself. We are doing edge computing. We already have those things. We are going to deploy. It's in still experimentation state. So with that, what will happen? Observation part, which is the primary thing, because this is truly organic, which we told, right? Because we cannot put any pesticide. We cannot avoid the pests also. Still, the moment pests are there, it is difficult. Only way is either you take out, quarantine it, or use organic method. Like gomutra or neem oil, all those things you can spray, or the hing stones and all. But the thing is, early detection saves us. So the cameras are going to give us information which part it is infested. Just throw it.
Right. Quickly quarantine it out so that it cannot spread.
Yeah, right.
Basically.
Correct.
And the whole idea, of course, in organic farming is that if your plants are strong, which hopefully it is because you are taking care of all of the nutrition management, so the plants themselves are able to kind of fend off the diseases and pests to a large extent.
To large extent, actually,
right? Right. Got it. So, okay. So now, if you look at the money you can make, what percentage is approximately from the vegetables and greens that you can sell, and what percentage typically would be from the fish that you would sell?
So I'll tell you the kind of, based on our past experience, the projections what we have done, and till now, yeah, we are a little slow on the sales part, because we just finished it in December, and we started planting, and we started selling also, because every 1.5 months we have the produce, and we have a production planning system with which we calculate that. And if you look at the percentage, right now we are not focusing on the fish sales, because fish is the main labor. So but I think after first year we are going to focus on the fish sales as well. So all the fish which we have, right, in each of these systems, they are actually breeding, and the fingerlings and all are there.
Right.
So by next year we will have kind of bumper harvest. Now if you look at the percentage here, just like I told you, 50-55 lakhs you were spending in this, right? So our projection, each year it's going to grow depending on the number of harvest cycles. So around 40 to 45 lakhs we are going to get from the crops, and from fish 3 to 4 lakhs. The percentage is less because we don't want to focus too much on the aquaculture part. But if you want to make it 50-50, then in this area, like we had a plan of setting up a biofloc system where the water can go, then you extensively put lot of fish, but we wanted to create a natural way of doing it.
Got it. And so because I think your current sales mechanisms, etc., are more suitable for selling vegetables. That's why for you, it does not make sense to focus a lot on fish.
Right. We are not focusing actually. Yeah.
Got it. There's one criticism of aquaponics that we often hear, which is that, okay, you can only grow greens, right? And Indians, we eat greens, but we eat other vegetables also.
Right.
So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. So if I say, right, what is the difference between aquaponics and traditional farming? There is not much difference. Like I told you at the beginning, it's the media in which you are supplying the nutrients. So if we are focusing on this exotic leafy, so that our break even comes early.
Because these higher value and all of that.
But if you look at here, so pretty much this is actually a small list. Even this list has grown. So apart from the leafy, we have grown bottle gourd, mango ginger, galagal, beans also, cucumber, even Java apple also.
Even fruits also you have grown.
Fruits also. And best is all citrus fruits. It is like best for them. Aquaponics is orange, lemon and all that. You can see lemon plant is there already. So, and in our Orissa farm, we had already grown, Java apple.
Got it.
Even banana also. But we use generally dwarf ones because for large plants and all, you need larger setup for that.
Got it. So, even muskmelon as well.
Yeah, like muskmelon also. This also we have grown already. We have all the videos and all, how we grown. And turmeric, and the taste is completely different. We compared it and we got a video. Definitely we did not test it in lab kind of, but yeah, so anything under soil also you can grow. If you look at this media, right, so this becomes like soil. So we have ginger knot here, and the other farm we have. So this is actually hydrotrons, leca balls. So this is made of clay but galvanized completely. So if you see this floats, you can see here, see? So it is floating. So here, so basically all the crops where you get the produce under the soil, right? Same thing, it gets produced below that. And this is all reusable.
Got it. So let's talk a little bit about the fish. What are these fish?
So these are tilapias.
Tilapias, right?
Yeah.
So I am a Bengali and
Yes.
you are from Orissa, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
are very fond of fish.
Fond of fish.
Probably more fond of fish than vegetables,
Yeah,
right? So
true.
I think this line excites me a lot.
Yeah,
because
so these are the ones which we have already grown.
right. So tilapia, carp, marel,
Morel,
koi,
yeah.
rohu,
Yeah.
pond koi, rupchan. Pond koi, of course, is not edible, right?
Yeah, pond koi you cannot.
Rupchan,
Rupchan, yeah.
singi, catfish. Now, see, for example, there is a problem with the fish supply chain as well, especially in places like Bangalore,
Right, right.
First of all, it comes from a long distance.
Right.
Like Bengalis really love all of this singi
Singi.
mach and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we eat that, like if somebody falls sick, basically we are supposed to have singi mach or jhol.
Yes,
Right? So,
absolutely.
so this is like the cure-all for everything. So, so I think that fish part is actually very, very exciting because right now, if you see, fish travels many, many thousands of
Yes.
miles to reach us.
Yes.
It's kept in ice. Sometimes things like in Calcutta, there was this whole scam which has come out where people were using formaldehyde
Yes,
to preserve
formaldehyde,
all of
correct,
these fish,
correct, correct,
right? Which is
right.
actually
Yeah,
very
yeah.
harmful to
Yeah, it's
human
very
health as
harmful.
well. It's used to preserve dead bodies,
Right,
right?
right.
So, so I think getting fresh fish to people, which is chemical free, right, is also a big business opportunity and a need as well.
Yes.
Right, because you could eat your vegetables clean, but then if you're eating your non-vegetarian stuff
Yes.
in a non-clean manner,
We
the
got a
point
lot
is
of
lost.
requests actually. So few guys they took it, and it is like you can come and take it. We are not going to give it to you.
Got it.
Come and take your fish, whatever you want to choose. That's there in our plans. So next year we are going to start that also.
Right, right.
So
right,
and
right.
fish, the
So
best.
harvest your veggies,
Yes,
take your fish,
take your
go
fish
home.
and go home,
Nice.
do, and save us some money in delivery and get your own confirmation kind
Right,
of that.
right,
That
right.
is something we are thinking
Because
of.
transporting and delivering
Yeah.
non-vegetarian is a additional lot of
Yes,
additional
yes.
effort.
Effort
there,
is there.
Right?
Right, right.
Got it. Very interesting. So, what are these?
So these are actually the PVC pipes. We call it. This is NFT, nutrient film technique of supplying the nutrients. If you look at right, so the roots are here and the leca balls are there. So it's in water, completely suspended. You can show it here. It's dipped in water, and the water keeps
Okay,
circulating.
because
from
there's
time to
water
time.
inside this.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Okay.
So there is no soil.
Huh.
So
and this water is circulating all
Yeah.
throughout the thing.
Yeah, so for each system, there is a different pond. Why we did it? In case some infestation, something happens, right? Only this system is affected. That's not affecting another one. So all of the
Ah.
systems are decoupled.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
It's
That's
in
why
its
each
own
unit is
environment.
its separate
yes,
thing.
Yes.
Got it.
So
got it.
centralized. There are people asked us why you did not do a centralized one. Then I told, if something happens to fish and all, right, some pathogens or something comes and the crops die, it's going to affect the entire farm.
Right. It's like how we do fault tolerance in distributed
Yes,
computing.
it's
So
same thing.
you have used a lot of your
Yeah, technology. Yeah, this is
learning
actually
from
nobody
being an
has done this.
engineer.
You
in
will
the
see these designs already there. People have done, and we have done in a unique way. We have another line inside. So in order to control the light and growth, that's why we have this in a. This was actually idea of one of our guys, Rakesh. So that's how we did. And
it.
basically we do brainstorming inside, and yeah, definitely we apply technology there.
What is this plant which is growing here?
This is bok choy.
bok choy, Chinese cabbage.
Yeah.
okay,
So this one is celery. You want to show the roots and all. Probably it is difficult to take out.
Ah, nice.
So this is celery.
So this will actually give you harvest for quite some time, right?
Yeah,
You'll
celery
keep
is
on
like
using
you
it.
keep on cutting. There are a couple of them, so which you have to harvest fully. But mostly these are actually partial harvest. This one is like full harvest. And for example, palak is there. Palak is again partial harvest. But the lettuces and all, again that is also divided. Couple of them are full harvest, couple of them are partial harvest.
Got it.
Unlike soil where you have to harvest everything and give it in bulk, we don't have to do that.
So the only thing that I see is that you need to have electricity all throughout because everything is running all throughout, right?
So these systems actually, even if we had lot of failures actually, electricity wise, we have power backup system, DG and all. But with this kind of system, even for 1 or 2 days, we don't have to worry because the water is already there.
Okay.
But the moment we use aeroponic towers like these are actually aeroponic towers. These are in different forms. If you look at this, inside this, so the roots are suspended in air. And we have a pump below and we have a sprinkler which keeps putting water.
Got it.
So these are vertical towers, and if you look at in this much of area, we have got 150 plants. And this can go to as much height as you want. This is another one which we have created. So
Got
can
it.
you see the water is dripping? it's air inside. So the best part is root aeration is easy. So the growth in this is much faster than that.
And what about water usage? Are they equally efficient or one of them is
Equally,
more?
pretty much same only.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so now here you have a pump. So each
Yeah.
unit has a pump, is it?
Yeah, each
Here?
unit has a
If
pump.
you can come and show this pump. Got it. So there's a pump here. Each unit has a pump. You have decoupled every unit so that things don't spread if there are any issues with that.
right.
And this tank which is there underneath, this is where the fish are
Yeah, the
supposed to
fishes
be.
are already there.
Got it.
So we have coupled and decoupled systems. Now we have added lot of fish. So two ways you can do. Either you have the fish there or you have the fish separately. The water you run it through filtration systems and then supply it. So sometimes it happens that we don't have fish also. So what do? We keep collecting the fish poop, the dry dung, that we put it. And that is, so you can do it in that way also. There are a lot of people who complain like, okay, so fish is there, they had that stigma. So the plant is also non-veg. Whereas in crops, if you look at, right, so I can't tell you the things which are being put there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so this cost of about 50-55 lakhs to set up something like this, that includes the cost of the structure, the
Everything,
cost of all of these
everything,
pipes, everything.
yes.
And
And
do you as a company, do you set this up for people as well?
Yeah, we do. So we have a franchisee model also where, because see, we cannot, our target is to have these farms near all the cities. This one we are starting for the urbanites who really want to eat healthy and stay healthy, which they are not getting, because if you look at farm to table, right, through the different hops it reaches, they don't get fresh food. So for that, in order to do that, we want to actually span out to different cities in India. For that, we want franchisees to come up. We can set it up for them, and we have central lab where we do all the research, we provide everything to them, and they can have their own market.
Got
They
it.
can
And
start-
this is very good from the environment perspective as well,
Yes.
because your food miles are reduced
Reduced.
substantially,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Instead of having food traveling 100 miles every time,
Right.
you have food which is inside the city. For example, the nearest apartments from here are hardly 2 kilometers away.
True.
Right? So
Yeah.
all the whole
That's
Whitefield,
why we are
Bangalore
able to-
Whitefield cluster is within the next like 5-6 kilometers. You have literally thousands of apartments here, right?
That's why you are able to deliver freshly harvested. That's what we say.
Right.
Same day harvested, same day delivered.
Right.
That's
Within
our
a
point.
few hours.
Within a few
essentially,
hours.
Right. Cool. Okay. So now this is there. Then there's the pumps. Then there's the water tanks underneath it, and I also see fans on top and some lights as well.
Yeah. So
what are those
yeah,
about?
so generally, so these lights are not for growing. Yeah, but at evenings also people work, because daytime sometimes it is very warmer. So these fans and these sprinklers you see, these are primarily for controlling the temperature.
Okay.
So
Can you show the sprinklers and the fans there?
do you want me to ask them to turn it on?
No, no, it will fall on us. So this is for what? These fans?
But yeah, the fans are actually intercirculatory fans. So basically what they do, they suck air from behind, then throw it outside. So if the circulation happens on the top layer, the below layer stays cool.
Oh, okay.
That is the reason they are hanging there.
And how do you harvest something like this when people have
They
to
put-
harvest? Like I'm 6 feet, I'm still not able to.
Yeah, so they put, we have got different stool and
Okay.
kind of small ladders in which
Got it.
they do it.
Got it, got it, got it, got it. Cool. Let's.
And these are actually the bacteria chambers you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
this is where you see this is KSB, PSB, and this is the nitrosomonas and nitrobacteria. Can you see here?
Okay, so aeration,
aeration
is
is there
being
because-
happening in them as
Yeah,
well.
These are aerobic, that's why.
Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. What is this which is growing?
This is Batavia lettuce.
Okay, okay, okay. This is very nice and crunchy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this is again pak choy.
No, this is not bok choy. This is butterhead.
Oh, butterhead lettuce. Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it, got it. Come, let's. I see something red colored here.
Yeah, these are Lolo Rosso,
Okay.
the purple lettuces.
Nice, nice. So this is safe to just cut and
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, so this is actually gone beyond age. So the fresh ones will show you there.
So this has started bolting basically.
Yeah, bolting
right?
actually. The bolting already happened. We left it for seeds.
Got it, got it, got it, got
And this is romaine.
it. Romaine.
This is romaine. So when the bolting happens, we generally leave it in order to collect the seeds, because seeds are very costly. Yeah, definitely. I won't say that the seeds which you are collecting, we get 100% germination, but at least some germination we are having. What is the
Got
why
it.
to waste it?
Got it, got it. Can we go to your control center there and can you tell us
Yeah.
what's going on? And I believe that the farmers who own this field, they are also working with you right
Yeah.
now.
So their son, actually Prajwal, he's working with us,
Okay.
and he helps us in lot of market
Got it.
positioning also,
Got it.
because he has lot of contacts on that.
Got it. What is this thing? I see some floating thermocol raft sort of
So
things.
that is DWC, deep water culture. So in that the roots are suspended.
Okay.
So, but this one they had put fishes, so the fishes have eaten all the roots.
Okay.
So ideally, this should have been put in another system in which it is decoupled.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
So all of these systems actually we are going to gradually cover with DWC, but there will be a net below the roots, so that the fish is not attacking the roots.
Got it. Got it. So what is all this Gizmo Wizardry going on here?
Yeah, so basically this is our controller, which is controlling when the sprinkler will be running, all the pumps. Each of these systems we have line wise. We don't run all the pumps at a time. Row wise it runs, and plus the aeration. So the bacteria chambers and all, right. So everything is controlled through this one central system.
And you have
which
like a
human
software
doesn't
that you have built through
Yes,
which you
yes.
can monitor that things
Yes,
work,
yes,
things
yes.
didn't work.
So that is the sensor part. So this is where actually where we collect all the parameters. So this one is people are doing it manually, getting water and testing for each system, the pH, EC, before we put the plants or the fish, right? Because if you look at the signs, all the three, right? So they need base. The pH has to be base.
Right.
So fish loves alkaline, plants love acidic, and the bacteria they stays in base. So how do you maintain that optimal, right?
Got it.
And if you don't measure those parameters, either your fish will die or the plants will die,
Got it.
or the bacteria is not present.
Got it.
So it's a symbiotic system. So the ecosystem has to be maintained. So all those parameters we collect through the center, through the sensor module, and then the data we are keeping it where we do the analysis, like based on the data, what is the growth pattern,
Got it.
and take actions accordingly.
Cool. So now let's talk a little bit about how do you manage production at this farm, and if somebody has to take this up and actually run a farm, and what are the things that they need to kind of take care of. I see that you have a big list here, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe if you can just quickly tell us about very broadly what are all of these steps that you need to
Yeah, so
look
these
after.
are primarily, if you look at the first one is germinating and planting, then the fish feeding and management, which is a regular ongoing, then management and monitoring in case of any infestation or something happens, then the growth management. So we have got different people taking care of different things. Then the last one is harvesting. In germination, basically, so what we do is like we have got germination beds where we do the germination, and then we do the plantation part. And fish feeding is like for each of the systems we have got based on the quantity of fish and the crop which you have put, we have got different kinds of feed which is being fed to them from time to time. That we are going to automate it so that a human doesn't have to do.
And all of this you are actually recording in your software also.
Yes,
all of these pieces
So
are
we have a
recorded.
farm ERP system which is in progress, but we are capturing pretty much all the information, daily level activities.
So
what
if
people are doing
somebody
and all.
like basically the franchise model, they kind of work with you and you help set up the farm, etc. You'll also give them the software to
Yeah,
manage
definitely.
the farm
That's a
as
part
well.
of that. That's
Got
a
it.
part of that.
Got it. Got it. I see that there is a lot of I feel like on a hot summer day,
Yeah.
I should just stand there.
It's a kind of it's rain.
Cool, interesting. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, so I see a less number of humans in your farm, but I know that your vision is to do a human-less farm.
Yeah.
So what is
I'll
your
tell you.
vision about that? I mean, I see a beautiful picture here, right?
Yeah, so that's our dream and we are working towards it. We are almost halfway through it.
Okay.
So what we are, the biggest challenge in traditional farming is labor and plus the failure, the crop failure. That's why the attrition is very high. So how do you reduce that? So we created some points, and being techies, we know which all things we can automate, right? So, and the failures, how can we reduce the failures? The early detection, or look at the farms, which is like spanning through acres, right? It is not possible for a human to find out if some infestation or disease has happened.
Right.
So once it is infested, whatever fertilizer, pesticide, and even fertilizer, pesticide also, the prices have gone so high. Even they can't afford it.
Right.
So looking at all of that, we thought what is the way in which we can make it. First, we have automated it. We are planning for completely making it autonomous, because labor is the biggest challenge. You need people. So for that, first is basically if you look at here, right, sense, analyze, then predict, and then act. If all of these three you see, so sense is like we sense all the parameters.
So a lot of your sense part is already done.
It's done,
right?
And analyze part is also done, in which we are already detecting diseases and pests and very accurately. The and the predict part is when we are where we are working basically that is the growth prediction part. We still need lot of data.
That should be very easy given your backgrounds. You guys have been
Yeah.
in data analytics, etc.
Correct, right.
In your early areas, so that should be easy. I think ACT is going to be one very
Act is-
interesting thing.
Yeah, so we
right?
are already working on that. So particularly for disease and pests, when it is detected for the removal part, we have got robotic arm, so which is going to basically remove it. And then the plantation part also, right? So that will be coming from the ERP system. It's a huge complex system which you are building. But I think we are still 40% on the way.
And I think this
Rest
robotic
60%
arm
is there.
deployment is in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
the first
yeah, in
deployment.
another 2 weeks we are going to deploy it here in one of the systems, which you will be able to see it's moving. It's a 7-axis robotic arm, which is going to take picture and alert us where there is infestation or something.
Got it.
And then the removal part will be taking some more time.
Got it. Achha, I also see these small units here which people can just put in their balcony and things like
Yeah,
that.
this was designed for that only.
Okay, is that something that you are actively pursuing? Or?
Yeah, we were doing it. So 2 years back we had done a lot of setup, but the thing is, because of lack of manpower and like we did not take any investment, so we need a lot of people in order to for providing support. But the people who have interest in aquaponics, they can buy it and run it at home.
Got it. And how much does a unit like this cost for a home at home
So
unit?
this one was around, I think, 50 to 55,000,
Got it.
along with the sensor and the controller.
Got it.
Everything.
And this will probably give you enough greens for like a 4-member family.
Yeah,
easily.
so one of our targets was not only this large scale farms, also for the people who are staying in cities and all. Based on the number of family members and the nutrient requirements, we had a calculator and a production plan in which throughout the year how much percentage you will be able to get it from each system depending on the amount of space you have.
Right.
And our target is actually the first arm is going to be deployed here only.
Okay. Okay.
So if you are making it autonomous, because city dwellers, they don't have time, right? So it's going to take care of the farming at home. You come and eat. That's the plan.
Interesting. And you take your fish from here and also eat it.
Yes. Right.
As well. Cool. Awesome. So now I think let's talk a little bit about the like the challenges that in general you have faced while building this company. How long has it been this whole effort?
So the journey, if you look at, I think I started in US in 2013-14 in my basement. We came back in 2017. We started. We had IT
So
wing.
it's been 9 years since you have been perfecting
yes,
this,
yes,
right?
Yes, yes.
In various mechanisms.
Still lot of things we have to learn. We are still learning. And yeah, so our first farm was in Bhubaneswar, and that was in 2,500 square feet. But we had around 8,000 plants there.
Okay.
So not 8,000, I think 15,000 plants. Sorry about that. And we had tall vertical towers. The tower which you saw there, that was like 15 to 20 feet, and the NFT systems were also 15 to 20 feet.
Oh, okay.
The first one, so we had big plants, but labor wise we had problems. People were there, then they left and all. Labor is the biggest challenge. Just like they are facing, we too are facing.
Which is why getting this automate pit
This
done
is
is
most
a very important thing.
Yeah, right. And then we thought, because we are in Bangalore, why not to start the next one? So we have a container farm on the front, which we did actually 2 years back. Yeah, it's kind of fully automated, but yeah, human intervention is required for plantation alone. Like it is not fully autonomous till now.
Okay.
So,
and that
but
has
that is
like
sealed, controlled, but it's like in a climate controlled environment. So for particularly in weathers where it is very hard, just like summer and all, right? So it is completely fitted with climate control system. In that you have AC, HVAC system and all, and based on the temperature increase and also it will automatically turn on and off. And we are tapping into the natural light plus augmented light also with the grow lights and all.
got it.
And that one actually in just 400 square feet, the capacity is 12 to 15 tons production per year, and it is fitted with 10,000 liter fish tank. So which is
Amazing.
again going to give you 1 to 1.2 ton per year fish production.
So basically, that is something which is even more in higher intensity in terms of production, but it requires more input costs in terms of energy.
So the cost
basically.
is almost similar to this farm.
Oh wow, okay.
40 to 45
But only in
lakhs for
400
that.
square feet.
400 square feet, that's mobile. So for
Got it.
example, there is a land problem and all, right? Or there is a, let's say you are migrating. That one, your farm goes with you wherever you go.
Or you are a restaurant, you know, you have
Yes.
the 1000 square feet space,
Yeah.
you put one of those
Yes,
containers
correct.
there,
Yes,
right? And
absolutely.
you harvest it and you serve your customers
Correct,
from there
absolutely,
itself, right?
absolutely, yeah.
So it's for specific use cases, but I
Yes.
think this is probably more of the future of farming.
Yeah.
The scalable future of
Cost-wise
farming. in
scalable
general.
because getting the break even in that takes longer time compared to this one.
Right.
But if you look at it, maintenance wise, the maintenance is less than the life.
Hmm.
Here the maintenance, you still have lot of maintenance. Every 5-6 years you have to change the film and all.
Hmm.
There you don't have to worry.
Right.
Just
right,
only
right,
paint every year or
Right.
once, that's it.
Right. So basically, the other thing is also, let's say, if someday India and Pakistan have a war and there's like a nuclear holocaust and the mushroom cloud has come up and there's no sun, even then you will be able to produce food.
Yes,
right?
definitely, definitely.
Also,
because
if we run out of space in on Earth, right, and we have spoiled Earth so much that we have to go to Mars,
Yeah.
we can go to Mars, put the shipping container there, and grow our own food. If you have seen that movie, there's one movie, Matt
Interstellar.
Damon was there.
Interstellar.
Okay, I think so, maybe.
Yeah.
So, where they were growing, I think Matt
potatoes.
Damon was growing potatoes
Potato
in
from
Mars, right?
human waste.
Yeah.
And plus he was creating artificial cloud and with lighting, rain and all. You don't have to do all those things actually. So it's all it's simple, yeah, but I think that is a concept. So yeah.
Right. Very interesting. So, what are your future plans like? What are you going to do in the next 2-3 years? How are you going to spread this across India?
Yeah, so we are looking for franchisee partners for whom we can build these farms and they can run it.
Okay.
And we are partners. We want to kind of, if they can have their own brand or we all can fall under one brand, share the knowledge with each other, because as many farms we have in India, it's not only solving the problem but also collecting the data in order to see the different growth patterns,
Right.
how it is, so that you need to have it in a controlled manner. So the growth, production, everything has to be in a controlled manner because the demand is going to be constant. That's what we are thinking. It's going to change. The demand is going to grow because the farmers are churning out.
Right.
So if we don't have that number, we won't be able to feed the world.
Right.
That's the
right.
thing.
And actually, also, what's happening is that in India, right, people are moving more towards fruits and vegetables
Yes,
gradually,
yes.
right? We are spending more on fruits and vegetables
Yeah,
as
so
compared to
we
before.
have also the plans because this year we are focusing on only the exotic, but we have gradually started focusing on other areas as well because you need whole food, right? You need everything, not only leafy.
Got it.
So on other, even cereals also we have targeted. People have already done. People are growing actually.
Oh, it's
wheat and
possible to
barley.
do
people have done.
Cereals also through
Except
aquaponics.
India,
Wow,
other places
amazing.
people have done. If you go to Indonesia and all, they are growing in these same pipes. They are growing already paddy, wheat and all.
Anyway,
Corn also.
traditionally, a lot of paddy farming, you will have fish there
Fish
as
there.
well, right?
So, yeah.
In Kerala. So, I also see this unit which was not there last time. What is
so
this unit
is
about?
actually our salad processing unit,
Okay.
where we are cutting all the vegetables and cleaning, drying, everything happens here.
Got it.
So anybody
got it.
wants to see, so already the salad has gone for today. So we created, and this one capacity at least 500 to 1000 salad boxes we can produce in this place.
Got it. Can we
That's a
go
reason.
inside
Yeah,
once
yeah.
just to see
Yeah,
if
it
you
is
have to
still
set up
in
something like this?
process. It is not done yet.
Got it. Okay, so these are all these packing tables.
Yeah, so
etc.
we have
People will-
tables in the middle, so they do cutting, and also we are going to get
This is for
more of this
washing,
system.
etc. You will.
Yes.
Got it. this was really exciting, and it certainly looks like the future of farming. So if you want to get in touch with them, you can go to www.aquafoundry.com. We'll leave it in the comments as well below the video. And please hit the subscribe button, the bell icon as well. And so watch out for more such videos.